Good day. Hope everybody out there is having a good one. So, looks like we might be getting a new Lord of the Rings, at least a double feature from the old, they getting the band back together, man. Yeah, the old crew and everything is getting back together, except this is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be Peter Jackson producing and Andy Serkis directing. Now, I think we're a little safer with this character, being that they're more dedicated to this lore, even though The Hobbit wasn't the best, we'll say, but we'll all agree that the original trilogy, it's the pinnacle. When anybody thinks of some of the best fantasy ever put on film, that will forever be one of those. Right out the top. So what we got here basically is it's going to be like I said, the old gang is getting back together, but it's going to be the hunt for Gollum. Now, this is going to take place, obviously right kind of within the trilogy. I guess it would be in between the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna fill this in. We got a little bit of info here on what they're playing. This thing's coming out 2026, and we also have an animated thing coming out through Warner Brothers, and I think is New Line in on that one too. But either way, it's New Line and Warner Brothers that are going to be pumping out this new stuff. No Amazons, none of that. All this new stuff. So at least, especially with New Line, we have a little bit of a better chance of getting some good stuff. But you know, this character being so well loved, and I think basically was the best part of The Hobbit was Gollum showing up like he does originally in The Hobbit. The worst part being that it almost was like George Lucas's prequel trilogy, to where they relied heavily on green screen and all that. And I mean, the original had green screen and stuff, but it also had a fair amount of practical stuff going on, actual landmarks they went to, places that they helicoptered around and got scenes. I mean, there's some scenes that are going to be forever used in film schools and all that through Lord of the Rings. Now, this Hunt for Gollum already has like a YouTube thing that if it's still up and around, I was looking for it earlier, and some other things kept popping up, but that, you know. So I'm gonna make sure and try to find the correct one. But there's a fan made Hunt for Gollum that I recall being pretty good for fan made stuff. All that being said, this is going to be two films. So they're gonna stretch this out a bit. Now, reading the article. Now, here's the thing. The people are a bit nervous with Warner Brothers involvement because that didn't work out so well the last time. And just because Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis are producing, Andy Serkis, and Andy Serkis is directing. Andy Serkis hasn't had the best track record with his directorial debuts. Not to say they've been stinkers, but they haven't been like, whoa, something that we, he did the Carnage with the Venom thing. He did the Mowgli thing and another one. And then even with Peter Jackson, after those movies, all he really went to do, he did like an indie film with The Lovely Bones, which it is a good movie, sad. It has Mark Wahlberg in it and all that. And then um, he had King Kong, which, was a big hit, but kind of sense that they've been laying low, and I'm so surprised that they weren't utilized for the Amazon feature, because I think that might have fared better, because these people, these writers, have a lot more respect for J.R. Tolkien's J.R.R. Tolkien's, excuse me, stuff, and all of his material than I believe Amazon did, no matter what they have the rights to. But again, now there'll be a separate animated Middle Earth movie that takes place 200 years before any of the stuff that we saw with the Hobbit or anything, which is going to be the War of the Rohirrim. Now we hear this referred to even in the movies, but we don't, we don't, they don't sit and talk about it, or fade back on memories of it or anything. And if you're anybody that's read the material or anything, that this is a thing that's happened. So it's going to be very cool to see an animated thing come out. Now that's going to be coming out December 13th, so they get that ready for the Christmas holidays. Now, for over 2 decades, moviegoers have embraced the Lord of the Rings film trilogy because of its undeniable devotion. Peter and Fran and Philippa have shown towards protecting the legacy of Tolkien's works, and to ensure the audiences could experience the incredible world he created in a way that honors his literary visions. Luca and Abdy said in a statement Thursday, we are honored to have agreed to be partners on these 2 new films, with Andy coming aboard to direct Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. We continue an important commitment to the excellence that is a true hallmark of how we all want to venture ahead and further contribute to the Lord of the Rings cinematic history. Now, all that being said, we've had some things that we would like to forget. Now, there was some good stuff that was in The Hobbit, but that maybe should have been 2 movies at the most. You could have done it all in one movie, a longer movie, maybe a 3-hour movie, but you probably could have. But they stretched it way out, added stuff that never happened, characters that never existed. Of course, you could say that's also a thing in The Lord of the Rings, but not as much as The Hobbit. There was a whole thing that, delightful story nonetheless, but not in Tolkien's original works. Now, I have to believe that they're getting pushed by, Warner Brothers and all that they're going to also push their wants and their agenda on these 3, even though, because you got to remember, they were involved in The Hobbit just as well. And just, we can all agree that wasn't the bestest of, Lord of the Rings movies. If, you're going to rank them all, the original trilogy, much like George Lucas's Star Wars, the original trilogy is above them all. Agree to disagree. Jackson, Walsh, and Boyens added, "It's an honor and a privilege to travel back to Middle Earth with our good friend and collaborator Andy Serkis, who has unfinished business with that stinker Gollum. As lifelong fans of Professor Tolkien's vast mythology, and it is vast, they're still releasing books that are from, um, you know, manuscripts and stuff that he had written. I mean, you got to remember he had whole histories and stuff written that he never released. It's just he had to know these things for everything to everything had its place and everything had to be and everything had lineage, and you could look back on it and it's like, an elf wasn't just an elf, it was the son of the son of the son. I mean, everybody was like that and everybody was really fleshed out, and Tolkien's some could even argue a bit too much, but at the same time that's where we get these brilliant characters that have stuck with us for so long. And you got to also remember that a whole digital company was created for this. A lot of stuff just from the making of Lord of the Rings was put into place just from these people putting this together. Now, I'm at high hopes that these two are going to pull this off, but Gollum is obviously going to be the star of the show. And it says, yes, Precious Serkis says, the time has come once more to venture into the unknown with my dear friends, the extraordinary and uncomparable guardians of Middle Earth, Peter, Fran, and Philippa, with Mike and Pam, and the Warner Brothers team. See, that's what's got me a little on the great on the quest as well, alongside WETA and our filmmaking family in New Zealand. It's just all too delicious. Now that's the thing, that those are all the upsides. It's taken place where the original did. It's all happening with a lot of the original team, but that little bit of Warner Brothers could be a big problem. Just saying. How many, look at all the companies that turned down the original trilogy. And then as soon as they saw, oh boy, New Line Cinema's a thing again, now everybody wanted to be on board. Everybody wanted to, how many movie companies were a part of The Hobbit now? It's like, oh, so now you want to be a part of everything. And then all these people came in and kind of, you would think more awesome companies or more would be better, but no, it kind of worked in the opposite way. And it's like, why I don't understand. So Jackson's first Lord of the Rings trilogy starred Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Liv Tyler, Viggo Mortensen, Sean Astin. We know all this. And Kate Sean Astin, Kate Blanchett. The trio of films was nominated for 30 Academy Awards. Yes, we know, and it got like 17 trophies. They got the whole sweep. Now, I'm cautiously optimistic about all this. I hope that this is going to be good, and I hope that because there's not a ton of movie companies, that we could get a better, look, we do have a better chance with these people doing this, but we also have a better chance with the film companies letting them do what they and not getting too involved, and just give them everything they need and don't push more, and let's try to stretch this out longer than it needs to be. It's a cool story that can be told. We've already seen this, those who have watched the fan vid. It has a lot of potential to be awesome, but we're not, there's still a lot of things that need to be worked out. Who's playing who's doing what. We do know that, Andy's going to be playing Gollum, but, there's other characters. Who are they going to be? And, there's still a lot more. But 2026, some new Lord of the Rings, and it's not from Amazon. Hey, I appreciate the try there, Amazon, but your heads were too blowed up. You thought you could just do your own thing with works that are way too precious to a vast fan base. We have people that have weddings in Elvish, and don't screw around. If you're gonna do it right, because even these people will be held to the iron, and do this right and do this character some justice. Like I said, he was the best part of The Hobbit for me. There was also some other cool parts, I'll admit. There was some cool scenes, some, really cool stuff. But, when you watch him, you don't have the same feelings that you had with the original trilogy. That same journey feeling is not there. It's just not the same. And it gets a little too, slapstickish in areas. And I know that, The Hobbit was originally intended for children, which I think, if you were to give this to the age bracket that it was supposed to be for nowadays, I don't think the vast majority of that age bracket would, follow along. And that just kind of says something more about our education system. That's a whole nother story for another day. But what do you think? I mean, are you looking forward to this? I'll leave you a link to several articles about this. Some of them kind of ripping and reminding everybody that, hey, just because this team is involved, and these two are doing things, doesn't mean, that it's going to be the best. This, it could be like, hey, look at this. And it, be garbage and be something that feels stretched and feels, bloated, and however cool the stuff was that you might have, that you added to The Hobbit, it's just, it made it feel so bloated. And for those who knew about, this is one book. At least with the original movies, it was a movie, a book. Not one book, 3 movies. And now you want to make the quest, I don't know. It could be, a little bit too late. There's probably a lot of Tolkien fans that have been scorned too much. But I am optimistic. I'm looking forward to this animated thing. I definitely am, there is a lot to look forward to in the world of Tolkien. And I just hope that they do it right and they do it justice. And I hope it's something that has continuity with the original series in some way, because that was another thing about The Hobbit. And here I go again. I'm going to drag this video on for 2 hours. The Hobbit doesn't really share that much continuity. It's like you go from one to the other and it's like, they're told, like, who made this movie and who made these movies? What? You mean the same people were involved? No, the same people plus some. And that's why, so, maybe instead of being 60 movie companies, it only being 2, we got a better chance of this being good. But it isn't like Warner Brothers is, not known for sticking their face into, movies and ruining them. But they have a long track record of some brilliant movies. So let's all hope for the best, but plan for the worst. What do you think? Let me know. Like I said, I'll have you linked up to a bunch of stuff with all this. Yeah, we're still doing music reacts and reviews and all that stuff, but I am a huge Tolkien fan. We could do more videos talking about Tolkien and all of the lore, and even looking at the Tolkien collection I have and all the books and stuff that I still yet to have and want. And yeah, it's a big world. It's a lot, and those fans, that I hope this is for, are going to be very critical of this, and do these characters right, do them some justice, and don't string people along. I don't know why it seems like I'm talking to people that are listening that have anything to do with the movie, but still, that's my outlook on it. If you don't do those things, don't stretch it out, don't bloat it, don't, just tell the story and let's get through it. And I don't know. I'm hoping for the best though. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's know an artist or something, or even a topic you'd like us to talk about or touch on. Like I said, I am, looking forward to these two getting back together. But I hope that Andy Serkis is a better director under the producership of Peter Jackson. I hope that Gollum, comes back and, really, really does the thing, but, we'll see what happens. Have a great day out there, everybody. See you in the next one.